Hey guys, it's Nicole and today I'll be doing a chill, chatty paint with me video. I feel like I haven't really talked to you guys face to face like this in a long time. The past few videos have been vlogs or just videos where I don't talk very much, so I thought this would be a great opportunity to talk more about myself so that you guys get to know me a bit better. And if you have anything you want to say, feel free to comment. I love interacting with you guys. Without further ado, this is the canvas that I'll be painting on for today. I'm in the middle of recess week now, so there's been a lot of studying and there will be a vlog coming up as well. But again, I don't talk very much in that video, so I thought this would be a nice video to come out before that vlog. So I was hoping to just share a bit of life updates in this video, as well as answer some of the questions that you guys have asked me on my Tellonym I have a few questions there that were from a very long time ago and some that just came in, so I'll be addressing as many questions as I can. But first, I think I should also introduce myself if you are new to this channel. Hello, thank you so much for the support, especially recently. So I'm Nicole and I study communications and new media. If you watch my older videos, you would know that I was in computer science. I'll have another video where I talk about my experience changing courses as well as some tips and advice. I'm hoping that that video can be really helpful for whoever in the future. This is my box of acrylic paint, so I'll be painting another ocean painting. So anyway, life updates. I feel like I've hit a slight slump in my YouTube career. Like I mentioned previously, I've been making a lot of vlogs, so I feel like it's very repetitive. Even though I know a lot of you guys really enjoy my vlogs, like I realized that I do like some variety on my channel. Whew, it's been a while since I've painted, so let's see. Start here. I need water. Also feeling a little scared about the growth of my channel, because YouTube is something that I do, but sometimes I feel like it's becoming my identity. But I still thoroughly enjoy YouTube, so I know it's something that I still want to do. Another life update is I'm currently working on myself. I realized that I have a lot of insecurities that I didn't address in the past, so I feel like now is really a great time for me to do a lot of self-discovery and really understand myself on a much deeper level. And I'm pretty sure this deeper understanding of myself will affect the way I relate with other people in the future and even currently. So yeah, I think it's important. Self-love and self-discovery and just independence. I really value all of these things a lot now. So that's me. That's right now. That's a little life update. I think it's a good time to get into the questions. Okay, so let me answer some of the older questions first. So this person asked, something that instantly makes you like someone. I think if you are genuinely kind-hearted and generous and you're consistent in those traits, I think that's honestly really attractive. So I think if you're kind-hearted, that instantly makes you really likable in my books. The next question, who can you count on? My family, and there are a few friends in CAPT, my residential college, where I feel like I can really count on them. Also a lot of people in my church. I know that they really care for me and I'm really very thankful for that. So those are the people I can count on. The next question, how do you balance YouTube, social life, and school at the same time? Any productivity tips? Honestly, I feel like I balanced my life a lot better last semester. Like being in computer science and I was still doing YouTube, like one video every week. I think that was pretty crazy, and still managing to hang out with friends and all of that. I really prioritized these things, but that left very little time for a lot of other things. So even though last semester I was able to balance YouTube, social life, and school, I really neglected family time. I neglected self-care and just spending time by myself doing the things that I really want to do outside of YouTube. So this semester I've adopted a more chill YouTube schedule, so I post a video like once every 2 weeks now, and that has really given me more time to do things that I enjoy. So to answer your question, I think it's really just prioritizing the things that matter to you. And for productivity tips, I think if you set aside time to do something, make sure you do as much as you can in that stipulated time. And I think one thing that was really important for me was to not be so hard on myself. Like if I wasn't very productive that day or that time, just take a break and come back to it when I feel a lot better. I think that is something that is very important. Self-care. I'm a huge advocate for self-care. Okay, next question. How to talk to new people and be friends with them and not be socially awkward. Honestly, I feel like I'm quite an awkward person. It took a very long time for me to feel comfortable talking to people and just cracking lame jokes. I think it's a lot of not taking yourself too seriously. I know it's so cliche to say just be yourself, because and sometimes it's really hard because you don't know who you are yet. So that's why it's really important to, you know, spend time by yourself and get to know who you are, what you enjoy, the kind of crowd, the kind of people that you want to surround yourself with. I think that's so important. Don't feel bad if you don't fit in with a particular group. I think there's so many people out there, and if you are yourself, naturally you'll gravitate towards people that will understand you and will vibe with you. Yeah, vice versa, you'll gravitate to them and they'll gravitate to you. So I don't think you have to worry too much about being socially awkward, because if you are really vibing with the people you're around, the awkwardness will slowly dissipate and you'll be a-okay. The next question, do you like living in Singapore? I actually lived overseas when I was younger. So I was in Hong Kong up till about P1, so that's 6-7 years old. Subsequently, I lived in the Philippines for a year plus. So out of these places, I would say Singapore is really great. I'm so thankful that I live in Singapore. It's such a safe place, even though recently things have been a bit more turbulent. But I think compared to many other places, Singapore is amazing, and I'm really so blessed and thankful to be in Singapore. So yes, I love living in Singapore. Would you say you're an introvert or an extrovert? I would say I'm an introvert, but I think sometimes people may think that I'm an extrovert, or I seem like an extrovert sometimes, and that's why I feel like it really depends on who I'm with and the situation that I'm in and the mood that I'm in. Like, all these factors come into play. So even though I've always been an introvert, I think maybe at this particular point in my life, maybe I'm a bit more ambiverted, but I still really identify as an introvert most days. The next question, would you rather have an easy job working for someone else or work for yourself but work incredibly hard, and why? This is tough. I think I would want to work for other people first, and eventually, if it's possible, if I have the skills and the ideas and the innovation and the team, then I would want to work for myself. Be like an entrepreneur, a startup founder, or something that's really something so cool to me. I think there's a lot of value in working for someone else first, because there's a lot you can learn from a superior, and there's a lot you can learn about humility and just how hard it is to actually run a successful company. So I would want to work for someone else first, and subsequently, eventually, work for myself. The next question is, how many languages do you know? And I can speak English fluently. It's my main language. Chinese is my next one, but honestly, I mean, my Chinese is really quite terrible, so yeah, but I can still understand it and I can still converse decently enough to get by. So that's my second language. I learned Korean in NUS. Like last semester, I took level 1 Korean. Definitely not enough to survive on my own in Korea or anything. I learned biblical Hebrew before uni started. I took Japanese when I was really young, but I never really had the passion to sustain me through the whole experience, so yikes. I took French in poly and I managed to do pretty well there, but again, the level of fluency is nowhere near good enough to survive in France. So how many languages was that? I'll put it on the screen, but really, if you're asking how many languages I can speak fluently or understand adequately, it's just English and Chinese. Next question, relationship status, single and not ready to mingle. Next question, do you like programming? Are you good at it? And favorite languages or front-end frameworks, etc. Yes, I like programming, but I don't think I'm good by my standards, honestly. But if I do have any strengths that lie in programming, it would be more in the front end stuff. So when it comes to web development, it's really the user interface. I really enjoy that. So HTML, CSS, JavaScript, and I would say I have tried mobile application development before, both iOS and Android. So that's Swift and Java respectively. So those are the languages that I enjoy a bit more, and it's in that specific context, app development or web development. Like if you ask me to use Java to solve problems, I'm like, that's basically CS 2030 and I died. So that's that. Next question, do you want a relationship right now? No. Next question, what's your weight? It's okay if it's sensitive, not asking in a creepy way, but you seem so confident pulling everything off. I am inspired by you sometimes to try more styles and to hopefully look as pretty as you. Thank you so much for the really kind words. What's my weight? Honestly, I don't know because I don't have a weighing scale in kept, and the one at home isn't really working, but I think that's for the better because I did have issues with my weight in the past. Back in secondary school, I was from an all-girls school. It was really tough trying to find yourself and worrying about how you look, and just all these things coming into play as you are growing up in those really formative years. And I was really insecure at that age, so I started to lose weight, and when I saw the number on the scale go down, it became very addictive, and I would run every morning, and I started to, trigger warning, I started to starve myself. It was really unhealthy at that point in time. So I think even though I've recovered a lot since then, seeing the number on the weighing scale still triggers me sometimes. So I don't know my weight, I'm really sorry, but I know that I'm much more healthy now, so that's my goal. Rather than to lose weight, it's to be healthy. When it comes to pulling off whatever you wear, I think it's the confidence that helps you, not so much the weight. So I hope that you find that confidence to just work it sister. But really, thank you so much for the sweet words. It's really very uplifting. The next question, is there anything you're allergic to? Drama. Like, I've come to realize how much I detest drama. Like, it's so tiring, so I avoid it as much as possible. Next question, what is something you don't think a lot of people know that everyone should know? I feel like a lot of people know a lot of things already, so there's something that came to mind. My friend is super talented, so I think his Spotify account really deserves a lot more attention. So this is his Spotify account, and there's this particular song that I really love, and all his pieces are amazing, all his compositions. Yes, so check out his Spotify account. The next question is, how do you speak so fluently? What did you do? If you're talking about my accent, I actually studied overseas when I was younger, as I mentioned previously. But I think the accent really stayed because of the amount of media I consume. So I watch a lot of YouTube since a young age, a lot of like English shows and things. So I think that's how my English improved and how I managed to sustain the very strange accent. The next question is, what are some of your insecurities? So I have more, I would say, superficial insecurities, like those that involve my appearance, my looks. So that is still something that I'm insecure about sometimes. But also, I think I'm really insecure about how people perceive me. And it's quite funny because here I am on YouTube, giving people more opportunities to scrutinize everything that I say, everything that I do, everything that I show. But I guess my interest in YouTube outweighs that insecurity, so it's a good thing. But also, one thing that I keep telling myself is that I can only do so much. I can do my best to be presentable, but some people just always have things to say, so that is beyond my control, and I shouldn't worry too much about things that are beyond my control. And I think this is a good segue to the next question, which is, what is your greatest fear? I think I'm quite scared of being alone, which is also why I'm really thankful for my faith, because it's very reassuring to know that I am never really alone. And the last question is, what are your hopes, dreams, and fears? hopes would be that the world would be a really great place for everyone and there won't be any discrimination or violence or judgment. I guess I'm very idealistic like that. Dreams, I would want to one day have a great support system and family, and to just live in that kind of love, just to be surrounded by people that I love and who love me. I think that's a really beautiful thing. And fears, like I mentioned previously, being alone. Seeing as my hopes and dreams are full of people and full of love, I think a huge fear of mine would be to not have the people and that love. So that is that for the questions. I feel like I've been talking so long, and I think the painting is more or less done. Maybe this part is a bit bare. Let me just... So that's all for the painting. I'm thinking of giving it to one of the friends upstairs because I go to their suite really often, so I thought this would be a nice little gift for the people there. So let's go up. It's a gift for the suite. Yeah, are you ready? Are you ready? I want to see your reaction.
Why are you viewing my reaction? Oh my god!